Hi, I'm Allie with PotomacBeads. Join me as I show you how to make this beautiful balanced pearl bracelet. It works with RounDuo Minis, so that way all of these little sides here stay exactly put where they want to go. There's a number of different varieties that you can do, so make sure you watch the video. And if you need any supplies, look below the video in the description for links there to get back to our website where you can check everything out. Gather up your materials and let's get started. So to get started on this design, I have 8mm pearls, RounDuo Minis, and 11 OC beads. On the sample piece, I have 8 OC beads wrapping around the pearl, but I'm going to switch it up to 3mm pearls as we do this design. I love the light look of this and a very summery feel. We're beginning with a stop bead on about 4 feet of white or crystal dragon thread, size 8, and I have a size 10 needle on here. None of my beads are super small, so I don't need a super small bead. First thing I'm going to do is pick up my RounDuo Mini, followed by one of my 11 O's, followed by my 8mm bead. Now I only have a small tail on this because I'm coming back down the project to the outer edge, so I don't need to have a long tail. We'll put the clasp on after the fact. Right now I want you to put on one 11 O, followed by one of my minis, followed by one more 11 O, and we are going back up the pearl after those 3 beads. You're going to kind of force this to sit, and you will see the holes of the RounDuo Minis. Don't worry about that. We're going to cover that. You want it to sit that the 11 O seed beads here are right next to those RounDuo Minis. Coming out of the 8mm bead, grab one more 11 O seed bead, and we're going to go into the same hole of the RounDuo Mini that our thread is currently coming out of. So we're going to go in right next to the stop bead to turn that RounDuo Mini the way we want it to be. And right here, you're going to have the RounDuo. Here's your order. RounDuo, 11 O, through the pearl, 11 O, RounDuo, come on back. From here, we're going to go through the 11 O, through the 8mm bead. Now we can, if we want to, add the outer edge now. I'm going to wait. Going through the 11 after the 8mm bead, as well as through the first hole of the RounDuo Mini. From the first hole of the RounDuo Mini, which the holes should sit on the vertical rather than the horizontal, we're going to go down through the second hole of the RounDuo Mini. So going through the second hole of the RounDuo Mini, we're not picking up any beads right now. We're just going through it. You'll again see a tiny bit of thread. You're not going to see it once you add your extra pearls. Add an 11 O. Add your next 8mm bead, 11 O, RounDuo Mini, 11 O. And we're just going to continue this process. Going back then after those 3 beads, back through the 8mm bead. Once we're through the 8mm pearl, we make sure that we don't see any extra thread kind of hanging out here at the top, pushing that bead down. You can see it's kind of like a give and take there. Add one more 11 O, and sew through the opposite side of the RounDuo Mini that your thread was originally coming out of. Through the 11 O right after the RounDuo Mini that was already there. Back up through one of the 11 O's if you can at the same time. On the opposite side of that 8. Through the RounDuo Mini. Switch from the top hole to the bottom hole, or the outermost hole, I should say, the right-hand hole of the RounDuo Mini, and start again. That's all it is, over and over and over again. The RounDuo Minis work as the perfect separator to be able to hold our strands to the side. As you get to the end of the base, and I used 11 of my 8mm pearls, 12 of my RounDuos. I'm going to bring it into this beautiful clasp, garden strand clasp. It is a multi-strand clasp. You can do a single strand clasp. You don't have to do the multi-strand. I've added after my RounDuo Minis, I've added onto my thread and needle here 2 11 O seed beads. And I'm going to take off the end of the clasp just to make it a little bit lighter, and that way I don't have to carry as much. I'm going to go through that end of the clasp here. Add 1 and 2 more 11 O seed beads. Come down through that RounDuo Mini, through that same hole size. Now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. 1 and 2 11-ohs. Make sure it's sitting lateral, like it's going to sit the correct way. Through that loop of the clasp, 2 more 11-ohs back through the RounDuo Mini. We're going to reinforce that, making sure here so that you see how it looks. It has a pretty little look to it. We're going to reinforce that going back through all of our beads here, back through the clasp, back through the 11s here. This has a very, what's the word I'm looking for? Very wedding-y look to it. Back through the 11s and through the RounDuo Mini. I was actually sitting by the lake creating this, working remote with my kids, and it was my daughter's idea to work with the RounDuo Minis to go in here. And as I was working with them, I was like, this is genius because it holds the beads exactly the way that I need them to be. Back through that RounDuo there. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to start our curvature. I'm going to go from the outer hole to the inner hole, or the right to the left hole as we're going down the design. And I am out that RounDuo Mini. Now, when you come out the RounDuo Mini, you are going to add an 11-0, grab a little bit of that beautiful rose color, and then we're going to do the outer edge of our pearls in our 3mm bead versus our 8OC beads. Coming out the hole of the RounDuo Mini that's closest to the pearl, I want you to add onto your thread and needle 1 11OC bead, followed by 5 of your 3mm pearls, 6 if you're doing a 2mm. And we're going to add then 1 11O after those pearls and go through the RounDuo Mini through that first hole. And you can see how that kind of wraps and forms an O around them. While we're here, we're going to do the same thing on the other side. If you want to, you can also use 4 pearls. That's going to make it be a little tighter and snug, a little closer. Here I am adding 1 11OC bead, 2, 3, 4. Tiny pearls are not quick to add. That's why I added them first. 5. Add your 11O, and then you're going back through that same first hole of the RounDuo Mini that your thread was just coming out of. I'm going to get rid of my tail here. Pulling it through and show you how that looks kind of like a saucer going around. Now, what we're going to do is there's 2 ways to do this. You can either go back around the loop and then step up through the RounDuo, or you can go through the 11O, through the 8mm pearl, give a nice tight pull, go through one of the 11OC beads right after the 8mm pearl there, through the bottom hole of that RounDuo Mini, through the top hole of that RounDuo Mini, or the rightmost hole, start again. 1 11OC bead followed by 5 of your pearls and an 11OC bead. And then we're going to go into hole number 1 of the RounDuo that sits on the opposite side. When you get to the beautiful end of the design here, and you can see, prettier than my hair tie here, you can see how pretty it is on the wrist. And I love that the beads are not going anywhere because of those RounDuos. If you want to do it a little bit bigger, you can use round trios or RounDuo Mini or regular size RounDuos. Here at the end, the number one thing is when we put on our clasp, we want to make sure when we hook our bracelet that our clasp is going to fit inside here. And we don't have, look how beautiful that looks in that vintagey look. We're going to make sure that it doesn't flip anywhere in the bracelet, that it all stays like it should. So I'm going to actually keep this on right now because the bracelet is not twisted at all as I'm working on it. I put my 2C beads on coming out the right side of my RounDuo here. And that's that starter thread. I took the stop bead off. That just seems like it's in the way a little bit. 2 more beads back through that RounDuo Mini. When we get to the other side, we're doing the exact same thing, remember. 2 beads through the clasp, 2 beads back through the RounDuo Mini. Now we're going to reinforce this, so we are going to do it another time as well. Taking that out here, and then again, just kind of push that starter thread out of the way. Make sure all your thread is pulled tight. There's a little weight on the clasp, So I kind of make sure everything is pulled tight there. See how I see a little bit extra thread on both sides? I want to make sure that it's nice and tight. And then I'm going to go through and reinforce, going back through the clasp, back through the loops each time. Once the clasp is all done, all we need to do is tie off those thread ends. I'm going to tie them off to the back of the project, and that finishes out this beautiful balanced pearl bracelet. Again, I love this because it's not going anywhere. If you want a nice floral look, you can put some seed beads that are different colors in the middle. I like the softness of this. And look how fun it is to do the design in different ideas. So 8/0s are about 2.8 millimeter. There's a 3 millimeter. You can do 2 millimeter pearls as well, or even snake it with different colors going along the outside edge. Thanks so much for joining me for this balanced pearl bracelet. It is a beauty with that beautiful vintage clasp as well. Remember, if you do want any supplies, look below the video in the description. There's a little link there that you can click that'll get you back to our website where you can gather everything and check out your options for this design, since there are vast and many. Do it with gemstones, do it with some different mermaid glass, and really have fun with the design. Remember, if you haven't yet, hit that little subscribe, and don't forget to comment below and share with us what you like, what you don't like. If you tried something, it builds up this amazing, amazing beading community. Thanks so much for watching, Potomac Beaders, and stay tuned for more inspirational designs.